Hey,
Hey,
hello,
uh,
hello, hello. How's it going?
not too bad, not too bad. Surreal, but not
Good,
too
good,
bad.
good. Good. Well, I guess I think the best way with this, is to start at the beginning, really. And knowing that you grew up in Notting Hill, where there was a great settlement of people from the West Indies.
Yeah.
I guess what was growing up in that community. What was the connection with theatre? Like, was there an explicit connection with theatre? Was that an
No,
option?
there wasn't anything specific. It's funny because how I kind of got into theatre at that sort of young age was kind of sort of I wouldn't say accidental, but it was just incidental rather
Hmm.
than accidental. I would say because I think I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I think like most kids at school, predominantly the kind of working class, and I mean if you want
Hmm.
to stereotype black kids, I wasn't doing too good, and to the point where my family were concerned. So
Wow.
my sister, she knew this guy called Don Kinch, who,
Hmm.
um, I mean, he was a jack of all trades. He wrote, he acted, he produced, he directed. It was at the time when sort of late 70s when I would argue there was more of a presence of black theatre then than there is now, which is
Yeah.
interesting in itself.
Yeah.
And he was a part of that. And so, but he also taught. He also, he was a teacher. So, in order for my grades to be picked up, I was like, I had to go and see him every Saturday morning, and we would have
Wow.
that. So it was like a Saturday school. So, and he had a little flat in Holland Park in Notting Hill. So I would go
Yeah.
there every Saturday and we'd sit around a table and he would like go over my schoolwork. And then, but
Wow.
the more I got to know him, the more I realised, the more I found out he was into theatre. Like I said, he wrote plays, he directed plays.
Yeah.
And there was a black theatre company going on at the time that he worked a lot with called Staunch Poets and Players.
Mm. Mm.
And they did a lot of stuff around the circuit. And so occasionally on Saturday mornings, he would have to go and rehearse with them.
Mm.
And I would tag along and I would watch them rehearse. I would watch them, act, do warm ups. I would like, and then to the point where they got used to me. So like if an actor was running late or couldn't show up, I would read in for him. I would make
Yeah.
coffee for them during the tea breaks and coffee breaks, and then I would join in the warm ups as well.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed them. I couldn't think of a better way to spend a Saturday morning hanging out with these guys. There
Yeah.
were older people, it was a mixed bunch, people of color in the sort
Yeah.
of 20s and 30s, and they were like the most fun people I'd ever met. They're not older than me, but they were funny, they were loud, and they swore and they argued all in front of me, and I loved it. I absolutely loved being in their company, and
Yeah.
that's what it was. There, it was that time. That's what made me fall in love with theatre. And they would
Wow.
rehearse in. I mean, if you know Notting Hill, in the Tabernacle on in Ladbroke Grove,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
rehearsed
Yeah.
there, or sometimes underneath the flyover. They would
Wow.
rehearse there. Basically, wherever they could get a room that was cheap and big
There
enough,
we go. Yeah.
and and I just thought they were like the coolest bunch of people I'd ever known. I
Yeah.
loved hanging out with them. So that
How
kind of
old were you?
was it not film 10, but I think it was between the ages of 10 and 12. It was like
Wow.
that sort of
Wow.
periods. I mean, it was on and off
Yeah.
like every Saturday because sometimes Don had things to do, so he couldn't
Yeah.
always see me. But yeah, it was roughly about that time, and like I said, yeah, it was fun. I loved
I guess,
being around with them.
but you're around people of different disciplines, right? You're around like directors, writers. You're
Yeah,
around
all
actors.
black.
Like,
And they were all black, all from predominantly West Indies. I mean, they were like young
yeah.
actors, and I used to have fun sometimes. And when I meet them, and then sometimes when I'm watching TV, I said, "Oh, that's what's his name from Saturday." That
Yeah.
that, that, that was. I mean, it was always exciting
Incredible.
at that time when you saw a black person on television. You always like to say,
Yeah.
"Mum, mum, mum, there's one of us on TV." It
Yeah. Yeah.
was that culture, it was that climax, and they were no different. So every now and then I would like see them on TV doing
Yeah.
little bits on TV, and
But you're around actors, and I guess like that
mm,
that sort of the excitement of as you described
Yeah,
it, seeing someone on screen and like that very visible way of engaging with the art
yeah.
form. Like
Because I think
what then?
What Don, sorry to interrupt. I mean,
No,
what Don also did is, I mean, I don't know if this was consciously his plan, because the lessons we would have, like, you know, all we would do was like sit around in his kitchen, around his table, and
yeah,
as weeks went on by, it was less about, you know, my homework, you know, sums and maths and
yeah,
English assignments. It was more about kind of, we were just debates about what was
yeah,
going on for black people at that time in the late 70s.
yeah,
You know, the whole sus
yeah.
and just, you know, the racism that we encountered, particularly
Wow.
you know, the police and, you know,
Yeah,
and 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 and, and others. And yeah, I learned more from him and those lessons than I ever did at school about
yeah,
predominantly, but it was all exclusively to do with being black.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I learned some, I yeah, for me that was school. My school, yeah, during the week was, I just showed up, just basically just get my name ticked. Quite
yeah,
frankly, I learned more about myself and about the world
yeah,
from Don sitting around his kitchen table than I ever did at school.
yeah, yeah. I think that is one of those really again, like, you know, if we need to put the case forward of how important this art form is in people's lives, and especially young people's
Yeah,
lives. This is like
yeah,
a perfect example, do you know what I mean, of like
exactly. Yeah,
finding new ways of engaging with the world around you.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, school's got, or obviously it's got its purpose, and I'm not saying to people who listen
Mm.
to this to, you know, skive off school, because you know, you do need to go. But you know, the reason why I'm saying this, I think it just highlights, particularly for black kids at that time,
Yeah,
there was a lot we weren't being taught. There
yeah,
really was a lot, and you know, and that in itself was wrong, very very wrong.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and I was glad I had people like Don and those guys just filling in the blanks for me.
yeah.
Mm.
And I guess like that filling in the blanks and sort of finding a way of understanding the world around you, is that sort of what made you pick, as opposed to going on and becoming an actor or a director, is that what made you pick sort of becoming a writer? Was it sort of that
Well,
way of responding to the
possibly,
world around
I mean, I got the theatre bug from them.
you?
And if I can go back a bit, I mean, I carried on. I left school at 16. I didn't stay
Yeah.
on, although I did further education.
Mm.
And I think if this answers your question, I think it was all about experiences, which I think is so important.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's because you respond to what's kind of going on around you. And at the time, I wasn't seeing anything that encouraged me to be a playwright.
Yeah.
It was just acting. So I
Sure.
kind of thought, okay, so I'll try that angle. I'll try acting.
Mm.
And I've no regrets about it. I mean, I joined a youth theatre in Northwest London, met new friends,
Mm.
many of whom I'm still friends with now. So
Yeah.
that experience was so important to me. Yeah, so I kind of did the acting routes.
Yeah.
And then finally, I just reached a point in my life where I just kind of thought, I don't, you know, it's not, acting's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to write for theatre. I want to write plays, and you know, and that came about because I just through my acting, I just read more. I read more plays,
Yes.
and I know this may sound boring, but I read a lot of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, there's a reason why his plays are still being done, because they're bloody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some are rubbish, but most of them are good. They are good. They are,
Yeah.
and not just him, but you know, a lot of contemporary playwrights as well.
Yeah.
I read, and then that helped kind of, you know, really kind of solidify me. I just thought that's what I'm
it.
doing. I'm ready to take the plunge.
Yes.
To at least try to be, you know, to write for theatre.
Yeah. And then did No Bush Cricket Club happen after you graduated? Was that the
No, it was while I in our third year. I mean, we all knew this was coming, because in our third year we had to kind of, you know, we spent the entire term just being at home writing our plays for our degree.
Yeah.
And I Nobody's Cookie. That was my degree. That was the play I wrote while I was at college for my degree. And I'm kind of glad I did that because I knew, because at the time I told myself, okay, this is my degree, so I can write what the hell I want. I can be completely free.
Yeah.
I can, embrace the theatrical. I can do all of that. I'm just, I write whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
And the irony is, that's what kickstarted my career. That's why Stratford East took it, because I remember Paul Everett, who was the literary manager at Stratford East at the time. I sent it to him because I got these are the days before the internet.
Sure.
I got a book called Playwright's Handbook, and it was and there was a section of who to send your plays to.
Yeah.
And I chose, because it was my last year at college. I was running out of money, and I only had enough money. I remember this vividly, to send my play to 3 theatres. That's all the money I had. This is like, I'm just saying, this is like before internet.
Yeah.
I only had enough money, so I chose Theatre Royal Stratford East, Royal Court, and Hampstead Theatre.
Solid.
So I sent the play to those 3, and graduated from Rose Bruford's. And then I you got the customary letters from them saying, yes, thank you for your submission. We'll be in touch. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The last thing I expected was for any one of them to do it. I just wanted feedback. Yeah. And then I remember it was about a month or 2 after I graduated. It was like I remember this week. It was all 3 theatres called me within the same week. They all Royal Court called me on the Monday, Stratford East called me on the Wednesday, and Hampstead called me on the Friday or something. Jeez. And they all said is, can you come in for a coffee? And at that point, I was breaking out the champagne. That alone was great. Yeah. Yeah. They want. It made that much of an impression. The last thing I expected was Stratford East, because they were the ones who, they stuck their neck out and said, we want to do this. We want to produce it.
Yeah.
The other 2 didn't, but I was so delighted by the response. Yeah. And out of my relationship, my growing relationship with those 2, they commissioned me to write plays for them. Incredible. So it was a win-win. But Stratford East, they were the ones who said, no, we're going to do it, Roy. We're going to do it next year. And that's
amazing.
More than I expected. Yeah.
And that's like more than music to your ears, I guess, as a young playwright, first play. That's just like, come on.
Oh, that's exactly how I felt that week. I went, what the hell? I mean, I got the call from one of them on the Monday, and I thought that made my year. Then I got another one, and then another one, and I just thought, gee, whoa, this is awesome. That's
exactly.
Amazing. Yeah.
Done. Mic drop situation.
It was 3 times. It was amazing.
It's amazing. And Indu directed that play.
She did. I remember when I first met her, because they called me, and then I met with Philip Headley and Paul Everett, and then they said, okay, we want to do a reading of it. So we arranged a time when that was going to happen. Indu at the time was like sort of associate director there. I think she did 1 play there. And I remember, it's funny, I do remember her sitting down, and she came in and said, hi Roy, really love your play. And I went, oh nice. I was just, oh, she's nice, and she's yeah, okay. And then we did a reading of it. And then what I wasn't expecting, and actually that kind of took me by surprise, was like we did the reading, and then we had a break, and then everybody stayed behind, and everybody debated the play. And then, even though that wasn't their intention, they pulled my play apart right in front of me. Oh, I'm not too sure about this, not too sure about that.
Wow.
And Indu was the only person in there who was in my corner. She was fighting for me.
Wow.
She was so on my side. So that made me, I didn't just like her. I just kind of thought, I love you. You're my sister. And because it was, all of this was new for me. But there was this one person. She was sitting there, and she was so on my side, and I really, really appreciate that.
Wow.
She was phenomenal. She was fantastic. And really,
I guess that connection, you know,
yeah,
that wasn't
yeah,
an only time that, you know, she's directed your work, because
that was the first time she did work, and then Philip told me about a week or so later, oh, we're definitely going to do it. We're definitely going to do it next summer. How would you feel about Indu directing it? And I remember saying, who was Indu again? She was the one sitting 2 seats. Oh, the nice one. Oh, yeah. I'll work with her. She was nice. I liked her, yeah. Then she and I spoke on the phone, and we met up a few times, and yeah.
And so to this day, because then there was that, and there was Starstruck as well.
Yeah, I know. Because I did that play, and then, well, what it was is Stratford's commissioned me to write that second play, but then they were going to close down for 2 years for refurbishments, so they couldn't commit. And then, actually, they were very generous, because they said, look, if you want to take it to someone else, you can. And fortunately, at the time, I think Indu had struck up a relationship with the Tricycle Theatre.
Yeah.
At the time. And she took that play to them, to Nicholas Kent, who was artistic director at the time.
Yeah.
Look, I've done Roy's first play. You know, he's a really, really good playwright. This is his second play. Shall we do it here? And he said yes. So then,
incredible. So
we just carried on that relationship, because and I was okay for that, because, like I said, you know, I'd just begun.
Yeah.
And I just felt, oh no, yeah, I want you to direct my second play. Yeah. At that time, I was kind of feeling, because I felt, I want you to direct all my plays. I want you to direct all of them.
Yeah, of course. Of course, she has that effect. Effect.
It's nice, and you helped me, and
completely.
And so our relationship kind of continued into that, and then and by then the Royal Court, who I originally sent to No Boys Cricket Club, they became aware of me, and they invited me in to meet with them, and they welcomed me into that Royal Court community of this.
Yeah.
And by then, obviously, Indu knew them as well.
Yeah.
When they commissioned my first play for them, Indu was the first person I showed the play to, and then she wanted to do it. So it was like, she directed my first 3 plays in a row.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was a great time, and
I guess it's those sorts of relationships that, like, between individuals, that help. That, for example, your relationship with Indu and with Tricycle, now Kiln, has brought together a cracking team to sort of get working on NW Trilogy, which is really cool. To be on with that commission being with us at Kiln. I'm wondering, like, how do you feel about that arc? Do you mean like to come from the 98?
Yeah, 98.
Those first pages in doing something like it's sort of incredible.
It's great. I mean, I think that is guaranteed to put a smile on any playwright's face. The fact that they can say to people such as yourself, "I've had a long history relationship with one theatre."
Yeah.
That's very, very important and special, and it means a lot to the playwrights. It certainly means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, the relationships I've had with certain theatres that I work with, Kiln included. Yeah. Starting at when it started out as a Tricycle, and now the Kiln. That's so important. It really is. You just you feel belong. You feel like belonging. You feel and hopefully it inspires you to say, okay, I really want to. They put themselves out for me. I want to put myself out for them. I want to write something really good for them.
And so you've been working on NW Trilogy during this lockdown. I'm sure you've been working on a few other things, other commissions. But so have you found a groove yet of working under these conditions? Have you got any tips? Maybe
I was asked that early this week because I did another sort of talk very similar to this. Because for writers, we should be used to this.
Yeah.
We kind of self-isolate ourselves, supposedly, and do our thing and write our plays. So we should be used to this, really. I think what it is but I think beforehand, I think we had the luxury of we could go out,
Yeah.
we could have a coffee and have a break and go for a long walk and such, and that's kind of been taken away from us. But I think also most importantly is also there was so much stuff going on in the world that allowed us to be influenced and inspired to write our stories. At the moment, that's the number one story. It's what's happening here. And when I watch the news, and I'll probably watch the news tonight, that's all it is. There's nothing else talking about. And I'm when the lockdown began, I did find that frustrating. I did I'm not being fed, I'm not being inspired.
Yeah.
I don't just want to write the coronavirus play. There must be other stuff going on in the world that we're talking about. What's pissing us off? And, so I found that hard. I've been finding it less hard because the longer this thing goes on, it feels like there's kind of spin-offs. There's kind of things that's kind of pissing me off. I mean, I had a big rant on Facebook this week about when they did that statistic. Oh, black people are more likely to die, and I just come, okay, now what?
Yeah.
What are you telling us about that statement? What's the conversation?
Yes.
What are you telling us? Are we supposed to isolate ourselves like you're isolating the elderly? What are you telling us?
Yeah.
And within that, it's stuff like that gets my creative juices flowing. Just go, oh, now I know.
Yes, what the angle is on this.
What the angle is and the offshoots of it.
Yes.
So I would say to kind of any writers who are kind of listening to this is find what's underneath. We all live. I mean, it's one thing I always say when I start writing a play, I find the world. Okay, this is the world of the story that I want to write. But what's the specific? What's the real heart of what I want to say?
Yeah.
And just to repeat myself, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I wasn't finding that because I just kind of thought it's just this, and it's overwhelming, it's overpowering. There's nothing else. However, more just little incidents and little just personal touches are kind of coming through.
Yeah.
That are inspiring me. And I would just say to the writers listening to me right now is find those. Yes. If you feel frustrated, you feel, oh, I don't know what's right, find those little nuggets, because then they are popping out. So it's and also don't feel bad about you feel there's nothing else to write about, because it's forgive the phrase, because it's one that's been used to death a lot recently. Is unprecedented. It is. Yes. It so is. This is worldwide. Yes. None of us have experienced this before in our life. I'm a lot older than some of the people maybe listening to this, but I haven't, and you certainly haven't, and that's okay. It's so it's okay to kind of step back and take stock of it, because it's none of us saw this coming. Yeah. Nobody, and that's okay to let that run through your mind. It is, and the stories will come. The stories will come. Just pay more attention. Just keep paying attention to what's said, and also more importantly, what's not been said. Yes. Well, have that antenna up, just to go, okay, hear what they're saying, but what are they not saying? Yeah. Because I think 9 times out of 10, that's when you really find your stories to tell your plays, to write your plays.
Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us here. And I hope you guys watching have all enjoyed that as much as I have. Thank you so much. And bro, we'll speak soon.
Take care, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.